Hey now, with the holidays almost upon us, there is a plethora of all kinds of treats and snacks kicking around here, including gingerbread cookies. And we've got a few too many of them, and I don't feel like decorating anymore, and I don't want the kids to go through any more candy. So I thought I would take this gingerbread and actually try to turn it into a gingerbread sourdough. So let's make that happen. So my first step here is actually taking these and dumping them into a food processor. And I'm going to just turn them into powder. Just like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and just get this into a bowl so I have it set aside here. Fortunately, this was 350 grams. It just happened to work out exactly. So that's a nice number to work with here. So to start off this gingerbread sourdough, I have 360 grams of water, which is technically going to be a 72% hydration. I'm going with a 500 gram sort of flour-ish base, so 360 grams is 72% of that. To that, I've already added 50 grams of fancy molasses. You can kind of see that swirling around in here a little bit. Want that to mix up really well here in just a second. I also have 50 grams of butter, so that is 10% of each of those, sort of based on the baker's percentage. Just going to get that into there. And to that, I'm going to be adding, I have my salt here, which is 9 grams or 1.8%. I have my nutmeg. Again, we're going for that gingerbread character here. So I've got 1.5 grams or 0.3%. I have some ground ginger here, which is 2.5 grams or 0.5%. And then, of course, that salt there, which is 1.8%. Just going to sprinkle that in. I've got some brown sugar, some golden brown sugar here, and that is 50 grams or, again, 10%. We'll mix that in. I've got my gingerbread crumbs, so that was 350 grams of those. And then just to make up the balance there of my, for my kind of flour, I'm going to assume that this gingerbread is going to function sort of like flour here. I've got this strong baker's flour, that's 150 grams. That gives me that total of 500. So now I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, that molasses is a little hard on the bottom, but we'll see if we can't get that to behave here right away. This is the first time I've done a gingerbread sourdough here, and actually, now that I'm feeling this, I think I'm going to want to add a little bit more flour. This is just too soupy. That's not a problem. I'm going to weigh out some more here, and we will add that just so that we have a proper dough. Experiment time! So I have another 100 grams of this flour. We'll put that in and see if this becomes more of the dough that I'm hoping for. I have another 100 grams of this flour. I'm going to just put in here. You know what's really fun is trying to measure all this stuff out with one hand, because I don't want to have to clean off my right hand just yet. So this is another 50 grams mixed in here. Okay, so this is just a little bit wetter. Okay, let's go another 50 grams and see. All right, here we go. I've got this dough. I think I'm content with this. I'm hoping that this texture is going to be right, and the hydration will sort of be right for this, so that it turns out okay. But I mean, hey, this is what these experiments are for. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to cover it up with some plastic, and I'm going to let it rest an hour or two just until my leaven is ready. So I just went ahead and added 125 grams of my leaven, because that was ready to rock here. This got 1 hour autolyse before I added the leaven, and I'm just using pinch and folds here to work it all in. The nice thing about having a darker dough like this is that it's easy to tell once all the leaven is mixed in, because you don't see any more of that kind of white leaven dough. All right, there we are. So I've got that all nicely mixed in. I'm going to cover this up and give this about an hour before I deal with it again. So after that hour, I'm going to go ahead and perform a bit of a stretch and fold here. A little stiff, but I am getting it am getting it a half decent little stretch there. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for another 30 minutes, and then it'll either be another stretch and fold or a coil fold. Just kind of see what the dough's like. All right, so after that 30 minutes, I'm just going to do a bit of a coil fold here. So it's been about 2 hours since I last played around with this bread, and it's not as jiggly as some of my sourdoughs are after they're fermented, but I think with all that gingerbread and stuff in there, this is just going to have sort of a different, little bit of a different feel. So let's take a look here and see what happens. Pop this out. And yeah, this is a really firm loaf. Minimal effort required just to kind of shape it there. I'm going to go ahead, actually I'll just use that same bowl. I'm going to cover that up, give it about 5 minutes, and then we can go ahead, do a final shape and get it into the fridge. So after that 5 minutes, not a lot of change here in this bread. So I'm just going to, a little extra shaping, and yeah, there we are. Okay, I'm going to be putting this into a banneton that has the liner in it as well as some rice flour there. Just to do everything I can to sort of minimize possible sticking in here. Just plunk this in. I'm going to cover this back up with plastic, and then I'm going to get it into the fridge, and we'll let it cold ferment overnight. So, morning of the bake. The oven has been preheating at 500 degrees for the last hour, and it is time to get this gingerbread sourdough in the oven. Wow, it is like really solid. Okay, oh, I'm going to just give this a nice little scoring, and I'm going to get it in the oven. Watch out, kiddo. Here we go. I'm going to cover it up and drop the temperature down to 430 degrees and give it 35 minutes. 35 minutes is over, and I'm just going to pop out the sourdough here. Whoa, did that ever explode? Awesome. Now, because there's some sugar and stuff in it, I'm just going to set it like this, right on the grate, and that should help minimize scorching on the bottom. So just after half an hour, at 420 degrees, I'm going to pull it out. I had to give it a little bit of extra time just because it's a larger loaf. All right, here we go. We've got this crazy, wonky looking gingerbread sourdough here. However, what we want to do now is go ahead and actually decorate it kind of like a gingerbread house. So I've got this glaze here, and I made this with some powdered sugar and some water. The original batch that I made was 3/4 of a cup of the powdered sugar and a tablespoon and a half of water, and I made this consistency here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get it to stick to that rice flour there. But, yeah, oh I know. Yeah, we'll get it all in here. I think this will be just enough. So this is about half of that batch that I made. All right, girls. Now we've got some sprinkles and some M&M candies and stuff that you can put on. So start to decorate it there. Size. Perfect. And one more. Oh, what about that? There's one more M&M. Put it on somewhere.
And I found a perfect... Wait, where's the cherry on top?
Oh.
The cherry on top, yes.
Cherry on top. There we go. Check it out.
It's a cake. It's a cake.
Kind of looks like a cake.
Because I put a cherry on it.
Oh my. Are we ready to cut into this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jeremy.
I'm terrified of what's going to happen here when I slice into it. But let's do it.
No.
What will happen?
Oh, we lost an M&M.
M&M, I got you.
But let's take a peek.
You.
Let's take a peek at the inside here. Interesting. Wow, does it ever smell like gingerbread? Okay, sweet. Let's go. Do you guys want to have a little try here?
Yeah.
Not just the candy? Okay, let's slice it. Oh, a little piece broke off.
Uh-oh.
No.
No.
Who could eat that?
Well, this
Set
is what
here.
happens.
This is what happens, yeah.
Just
Little
what
nug.
gets that piece? Who gets that piece?
Alrighty.
Let him show.
Here we are.
Still blood.
Okay, all right. You gonna have a piece there, kiddo? What do you think?
Yum!
Yum. What's it taste like? Tastes like gingerbread? Gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
Awesome. Are the candies a good idea on it?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
just made a bunny.
You just made a bunny. What are you gonna eat off the bunny?
Its head.
There you go. That's my girl. All right. Well, was this taking gingerbread and holiday morning breakfasts to 11?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Excellent.